Hey everybody, today I'm going to do something new. I am going to talk about the Intellivision Amico, which is something I have done before, but I'm going to do it while I'm actually playing Intellivision because I am a retro game fan. I do really enjoy the Intellivision and the Intellivision brand, if you will. However, I have sadly lost my excitement for the Amico. There was a time, let's go ahead and get this game started. There was a time where I was really excited about the Intellivision Amico when, especially when it was first announced in October of 2018. Since that time, I've really lost my excitement about it. I'm just no longer excited, and I am not alone. I did a poll on my YouTube page where I asked my viewers, how do you feel about the Intellivision Amico since it was launched? Are you more positive today or more negative today compared to when they first announced it? And over 2/3 of the people who responded were more negative than positive, so they lost their excitement for it. And only 5%, and this is out of like 250 retro gamers, only 5% were more excited today than they were when they first announced the Intellivision Amico. So I'm definitely not alone about this. And let me just say, I wish no ill will to anyone who's excited about the Amico, to anyone who works at Intellivision Entertainment. I actually want this product. Did you see how that egg just popped up on me? I actually want this product to do well, but I want it to do well because it's a really good product that's worth the price they're asking. And right now, personally, I don't feel that way. So if you're excited about the Amico, more power to you. If you're not, that's okay too. Let's just talk, and let me just explain why I personally am not excited about the Amico. So the first thing is the lack of progress I've seen when it comes to especially the games, okay? It is kind of like a little head scratching why the system, like why the operating system isn't done yet. It's been nearly 3 years since it's been announced. So why isn't the operating system done? Now, this is something that Intellivision themselves has made clear. They are doing a crowdfunding investing campaign over at fundable.com, I believe it is. And in it, they said, yeah, the operating system isn't done. The back-end support, like the web store, that kind of stuff isn't done. They even said that none of the games, their 6 pack-in games, are not done. They're mostly done, but they're not done yet. And that just surprises me that after 3 years, now I can understand, to a degree, why the hardware, why they're still getting parts with COVID and everything, but why is the software side not finished, even with COVID? Because this system was supposed to be out a year ago. Programmers could still program from home even when COVID hit. Why isn't the software done? Why aren't the games done? Why aren't there any games done yet? I don't understand it. And whenever I see gameplay videos, for the most part, it seems like half of it is just the same games over and over again. I don't understand. And I remember, I think it was 2 years ago, they made a huge deal. Hey, Earthworm Jim is coming to the Amico as Earthworm Jim 4. They got all the people together who worked on it. They did like a live stream, like a Q&A thing. And since that, like in the past year, all we've seen is like a 30-second clip, and that is it. And that's just kind of like, it just makes you go, huh? Why isn't more done? So the lack of progress is the first reason. The second reason why I'm not as excited as I was when they first announced it is the price increase. When they first announced the system, they said that the price would be either anywhere from $150 to $180. You can look it up in their original press release from October of 2018. And now if you go to like GameStop.com, you will see the systems are either $250 or $300. Now, to give, a little bit of clarification, the $300 system at GameStop.com is an exclusive color, plus it comes with like a $25 gift card. So really, it's kind of like $275, but you still have to pay $300 for it. But that's like a 40% price increase in the system price. And I cannot think of a time. Hey, doing pretty good there. Drop 2 at a time. I can't think of a time in the past where a video game company said that they were going to launch a system and that the price was going to be, X amount of dollars, and then they raised it much less 40%. That's like a 40% increase to go from $150 to $180 to $100 or $250. Could you imagine what would have happened if Sony came out at E3 when they announced their first PlayStation, said $299, and then before it came out, they said, actually, we're wrong, it's going to be $400. That is basically the equivalent, and it would have been more, it'd been like $415, but that is basically the equivalent of what's going on with this price increase. And for me, and I think for some other gamers, $250 just seems like too much for a system that's going to play $10 games. And I think if the price was still like $150 or $180, it would be a totally different discussion. I think I may still be excited about the system to a degree, but that price, I mean, it's close to what a Nintendo Switch is. Nintendo, even in this post-COVID world, they're showing signs that they're lowering the price of the Switch around the globe. So there's a possibility here in the States, by the time the Intellivision Amico comes out, the Switch will be $250. And if that's the case, if I had $250 to spend and I'm buying a new system, I'm sorry, I'm going to get the Switch. I would. I don't have a Switch. And my guess is a lot of other gamers would be in the same boat where they would say, yeah, I'd rather have a Switch at this point. So the price increase really burned me when it was announced. That's when my excitement really began to wane. So the next reason why I am no longer excited about the Intellivision Amico is quite simply the lack of games that really excite me. So right now, I'd say I am excited about Cloudy Mountain. That's like the game, like if I was going to buy one game, that's the game I was going to get. And I have a little bit of interest in some other games. Like I could easily see myself playing, a little bit of Night Stalker and Astro Smash. I'm not super duper excited about those, but oops, I misjudged that one. But I'd play them. Shark, I'm a big fan of. I don't know how much more I can enjoy it than the original, so a little tepid about that. Earthworm Jim 4, I'd be more excited, except I haven't seen anything. I have to see more to really be excited about it. Let's go ahead and use a pepper there. So there really aren't many games that are exciting to me, and if I'm spending $250 on a system, I want to get, I think I'm going to have to use my peppers. I don't like to, but I'm out of peppers. If I'm going to spend that much on a system, I'm not going to spend $250 on a system just to buy 3 or 4 $10 games that really interest me. It has to be more than that, and right now, it just isn't. All right, the number 4 reason why I'm not excited about the Intellivision Amico anymore is because pretty much I feel like they're over-promising and under-delivering. I really do. When they first announced the Amico nearly 3 years ago, they showed us 50 retro game franchises that would be returning with new, all reimagined games. And I was excited. I was excited to see some of those games come back. And then, here, fast forward, 3 years later, and most of those games, I think it's like 40. I did a video called The 40 Missing Intellivision Games. Most of those games are gone. Nowhere to be seen. We don't know what happened to them, if they're coming back. And that's just where it's at. Nothing's going on with those games. And that really kind of burned me. I'm like, hey, it's been 3 years. Where is it? Same kind of feeling with Earthworm Jim 4. And I understand, I know the plan. The plan that they're doing is that right now, the guys who are working on Earthworm Jim 4, they've kind of said it. They're being kind of repurposed to focus on launching the system. I can kind of understand that, but they're still working on other games. If it was me, I'm saying, you know what? Earthworm Jim 4 has to be a priority. Earthworm Jim 4 is our killer app. We have to work on that. And then you say, hey, we're coming out with this system. Originally, it's going to be $150 to $180, and then they raise the price. And I feel like that's a little bit over-promising and under-delivering. And just all this stuff that happens, it seems like every time news breaks on the Intellivision, it's not for the better. It's kind of more for the worse. And I just get this feeling that I can't trust them as much. And that does bring me to my final point. The final reason why I'm no longer excited about the Intellivision Amico is because I kind of feel like I can't trust them anymore, because they've had multiple delay dates, multiple delays. They say, hey, we're going to launch here. They've had 3 different launch dates. None of them have been fulfilled. They promised 50 games that would be coming to the Intellivision Amico. 3 years later, we've only seen about 10 of those games. They tell me how this system's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. It's going to be worth your money, and so far, I don't see it. I don't see how I can trust them. They've also said how, once the Intellivision launches, we're going to have a new game every week. Every week, we're going to have a new game announced for the system. Ooh, let's get that. Every week, we're going to have a new game announced for the system. How can I trust that you're going to be able to do that? How can I trust that you're going to be able to continue to support the system after I purchase it? Because remember, this system is basically a cloud-based system. It's an online system. You're not going to have physical game cartridges that if something happens that you can just plug in and play. Like this Intellivision I'm playing right now, I have a physical cartridge. I'm playing it decades later than when it was first released. I could still play the Intellivision Amico or the regular Intellivision to this day because of the physical media. The physical media they're coming out with is not the same thing. It's going to be connected probably to their web store. You scan it on your system and it downloads it. But what happens when that web store goes away? I'm guessing all you'll be able to play is your downloaded games. So what happens if the Intellivision Amico, is struggling right out the gate? They're not producing games every month like they said they would. And what happens if they just say, you know what, we ran out of money? They've had to do like 3 different crowdfunding or 2 different crowdfunding campaigns, even though they said they weren't going to crowdfund. And yeah, I know that's not the same as a Kickstarter. They're not crowdfunding the purchase of the system, but there's still crowdfunding going on, even though they said they wouldn't, and they should somewhat admit to that, to be honest with you. But you made all these promises, and here's what I basically have to say. What promises have you kept so far that really pertain to me? Yes, the games will meet your little criteria. And, some games every game will have like a single player mode and a multiplayer mode there. I mean, those promises seem to be kept. But as far as like the delivery date, the price, the games that are going to come on this system, where is the consistency? So that's just something that kind of, makes me lack the trust. Now, am I saying that I would never get an Intellivision Amico? No, there's a possibility I will. If it comes out, and I do believe it will come out, when it comes out, if it turns out to be extremely fun, because it's all about the fun, if more games get announced that really interest me, I could see myself getting an Intellivision Amico at some point in the future. But it's right now I have to take a wait and see approach. I have to see, and maybe they'll do a price drop. Maybe that would interest me if they're continuing to support it. But at this moment in time, I am a person who at one time was really excited about the Intellivision Amico, and today I just am not. I'm interested in what's going on and the developments of it, but as far as actually purchasing one, right now that would be a no. So that's just my thoughts. That's just my feelings. And this information could be really helpful to Intellivision because it can help them see why some people, and according to a poll I did, a lot of people, why they're losing interest in the system and how they could potentially get them back. Keep your word. If you can, lower the price. Get some games that really excite people in general. Get get more of those retro game franchises to come back. And then we might be talking, but right now, I'm not sure. So anyways, those are my thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Please keep it civil. I really don't like how the Intellivision Amico discussion has become toxic, where there's people who immediately judge you and your character based on if you like a system that hasn't even been released yet. I think that's crazy. I don't think it's a scam. I do think it is going to come out, but I do have a lot of questions about it. So let me know your comments in the comments below, and I will see you next time on the next No Swear Gamer video, and I hope you enjoyed this kind of laid back format. See you later.